All right, brothers, welcome back to the Alpha Platform. Before we get started, not to subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for supporting your career black content creators. Do you guys remember Senate Twink? If you don't recall, I think a video dropped last year or the year before that where essentially you had two white dudes that got caught having relations on the Senate floor. And this was a huge scandal on social media. I remember Twitter videos were out, memes were going crazy. But anyhow, the bottom in the story has now came out with his story and just really broke his side of the incident. And he's essentially claiming that y'all had been targeting him strictly because of the fact that he was the bottom in the situation. Y'all didn't target the top, y'all just targeting him because he was the bottom. So let's get into the commentary and let's talk about this article a little bit more because I want to hear what you guys think about it, but it is a little bit interesting. Let's get started. Okay, 1, 2, 3, ha! Let me stop playing with y'all. Let me stop playing with y'all. This is from The Advocate. She just started that tour. I had to watch the footage, and the footage was like going crazy, and it's all over the place. And I'm just like, anyhow, Zen staffer accused of having sex in the Capitol building recounts horrific backlash. All right, bro, let's see what you gotta say. Aiden Strupowski says that he was diagnosed with PTSD and spent time in a mental health institution after a video of him allegedly having encounters in a Senate hearing room leaked. Y'all remember when that video leaked last year? He said he didn't know it leaked, but anyhow, let's go on because I believe otherwise. It says the U.S. Senate staffer who was allegedly filmed having relations in a hearing room is speaking out on his own terms for the first time since the scandal broke. Aiden, dubbed the Senate Twink by some on social media, was 24 when the video leaked in December 2023. He is now living in Sydney, Australia, and recently told Gay Sydney News that he is, quote, really just trying to enjoy life and work after the international attention caused him to have a total mental breakdown. So yeah, I noticed that when a lot of people do how can I put this? F sugar honey iced tea. When they do F sugar honey iced tea, they like to flee to Australia to start a new life. And I'm seeing that with countless celebrities and countless other people. I don't know what it is about Australia. Maybe because it's a whole day away that they feel like they can escape the pressures of the Western world and what they did in the Western world. You can call it backlash, but you just, really just face the consequences of your actions. That's all it is. Like, you did some messed up stuff, and for some reason you thought it was a good idea to post it, because I don't believe that it was leaked. I believe you knew you were being filmed and you posted it because you wanted to go viral, because that's the way y'all do in Gen Z. Y'all want to be viral, and people was not feeling it, people were not having it, and you didn't get the moment you were looking for. It goes on to say, quote, I consider myself just a regular guy. However, it is alleged that I had relations in the U.S. Senate, and that is what I am allegedly known for, end quote. Quote, he goes on to say, mentally, I spent a little bit in the psych ward after the fact because it's overwhelming, It's overwhelming to realize and to know that tens of millions of people literally despise you. This is him again, a photo of him. So it says, Senate Twink breaks silence on, relations scandal in life in Sydney. Sorry, you guys, I had to be careful. YouTube will demonetize my platform. But you're not a victim, bro. You're not a victim. You did what you did, and you had to face the consequences of your actions. Like, people despise you because it's like you only a certain sector of the LGBTQ population can do this stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. Had it been somebody of a different complexion, someone little brown sugar on them, someone a little bit, a little bit of mocha, a little bit of chocolate complexion and whatnot, they would have been arrested. They would have went to jail. They would have went to prison. But the fact that you got to walk away free and not only that, move to Australia proves that privilege is real. Privilege is real. Anyhow, the worst thing you got was some backlash. Okay, bro. The video first released by far-right outlet Daily Caller showed two men in relations in a Senate hearing room, a space typically reserved for legislative proceedings. Maryland Democratic U.S. Senator Ben Cardin's office released a statement shortly after the leak that revealed Mays was, quote, no longer employed by the U.S. Senate. Did y'all see the video? Let me know, because I can't remember if I saw the video or not. But I remember it was everywhere on Twitter, everywhere. Let's go on. Capitol Police launched an investigation to the matter, which was closed after they found no evidence of a crime. It's not, wait a minute. It's not a crime to have relations on the Senate floor? Somebody let me know. That's kind of surprising to me. Mays said that he became, quote, a catatonic mess when the video went public and that he was unable to find work because everyone in DC knew me, which felt gross and horrifying. He instead bought a one-way ticket to Cape Town, South Africa, where he befriended and traveled with a woman from New Zealand. She suggested moving to Sydney, a city he immediately fell in love with. Mays said that he has since been diagnosed with PTSD and that he regularly sees a therapist and takes medication, but added, quote, I don't have any shame in that because when you go through something like that, it is just overwhelming and difficult to even comprehend. He says, I think that one of the reasons why the scandal wasn't as traumatic as it could have been is because I was very depressed working in government. Like, I hated my life. I hated my job. The pay was sugar honey iced tea. I was making $38,000 a year. I didn't feel like I lost anything career-wise when the scandal broke. And, I want to pause right there because that's a very important revelation. When we, people outside of government, think about government employees, the Congress, the Senate, we think these people are making bank. And they're really not. They're really not. Like, their salaries are public. They're really not. Most of them are not making a lot of money at all. So this leads them into things like bribery, into corruption, into taking, money from donors, contracts. Like, it leads them to doing all types of shady stuff on the side, insider trading and whatnot on the side, because they don't make a large salary. And the only way, it's if you put it this way, if you really think about it, only rich people have the luxury of going into government, especially high seated positions in government, because they can afford to not make a lot of money, right? And once again, they tend to make up with that by doing deals on the side and, helping, scratching other people's backs. And those people will give them money in exchange for favors and whatnot. Because once you're in charge of the government, you have an unlimited piggy bank to award contracts and whatnot. So I'm not surprised he was not making a lot of money. It is what it is. Excuse me, guys. Give me just a second. It says, my dream in life is to open a pigeon sanctuary. I'm very kind to birds. I love pigeons. Mays said that he now has a full-time job that pays better than his position in government and is focused on staying offline and enjoying the outdoors. He understands why the video received so much attention, but still believes there was some prejudice at play. He says, while I don't think that I was treated differently because it was gay relations, he said that I do think that there is a difference in how people are judged if they are the submissive partner versus the dominant partner. Okay, I didn't think about that. So he's saying that he only got the backlash because he was the bottom, and the dude that was topping him did not get the backlash. I don't know. Do y'all feel that is true? Do y'all feel like dudes are allowed to top and they won't get backlash for topping? Because I don't feel that way. I feel like if you engage in any type of relations, period, especially with another man in the same sex loving, you finna get some backlash. So I think the other dude did a better job of hiding his identity, because I do remember that we cannot locate him. Like, there was rumors about who he might have been, but people really could not locate who he was or identify who he was. But people could clearly see who this dude was, the bottom was, and that's why they focused on him and really targeted him. Lastly, the article says, I think no matter what, when you have something as salacious as relations in the Senate, it's going to go viral regardless of whether or not it's, same-sex loving or not, May said. That being said, I've noticed that when you have relation scandals, the passive partner tends to take more of the blame, which is why I got all those threats, hatred, and the guy who was the top did not. All right. Okay. Like they said, no evidence of a crime. I'm trying to read other things. No evidence of a crime. I'm happy this dude is safe and I'm happy he's in a good place. But at the end of the day, from my understanding, why would you want to engage in relations on the Senate floor? It may have been exciting or whatnot, but one has to assume there are cameras everywhere, literally everywhere. So it just was not a smart idea. And I truly believe a lot of these people, a lot of these politicians on Capitol Hill are gay, really gay. May not be out, but a lot of dudes are paying for pussy. A lot of dudes are, hopping on and linking up with the Twitter, the Twitter tops, the Twitter kings and whatnot, because the Twitter kings are always coming out here saying how they smashed this Republican, that Republican, how it's getting crazy, how they've been hired and whatnot. So it's a mess down Capitol Hill. But anyhow, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll come back with my closing remarks. All right, fellas, what do you guys think about the commentary? What do you think about the article? Do you feel like bottoms are unfairly targeted when stuff goes down in terms of backlash and whatnot? I don't know. I will say that it was an incredibly foolish decision to make, to have relations on the Senate floor, knowing the cameras are everywhere. Literally, cameras are everywhere. So I don't know why those two men decided to do that. But anyhow, I just feel like, had this been two men of color, you know, two chocolate dudes smashed on the Senate floor, it would have been a huge uproar. There would have been some arrests made, but this dude was allowed to walk away. Not only that, he moved to a totally different country, is living his best life there. So I don't know, you guys. Like, I have no opinion about it. I just feel like it was a dumb decision, and I feel like this dude has not fully accepted responsibility for what he decided to do. Because at the end of the day, he decided to do that stuff. Like, he decided to do that in a public space where there were cameras everywhere, like I said before. It just was not a smart thing to do. You know, you can hook up anywhere. Why choose that place? Why choose that place? You can go, y'all could have went into the closet, the room closet, the janitor's closet, whatever. But y'all chose, like, literally the wide open Senate floor to do this stuff. And once it hit the internet went wild. I remember y'all was talking about how big the dude's stuff was and everything. It was a lot. It was a lot. And, you know, as a gay man, I kind of, sometimes we make mistakes in the gay community, and I kind of miss the mystery behind our activities and whatnot, because when straight people learn too much about us and they know too much, and it's like I talked about this in previous videos, but the mystery is just gone. It's just gone when it comes to us as gay dudes. And I kind of want it back. I kind of miss when we did our stuff underground and people didn't know us like that. Like, we had our own little culture underground. People were not infiltrating that culture. If they did, it was only the cool girls or the cool straight dudes that were allowed to come in. But we just lost all that. We just lost all that in the recent decades. And, you know, maybe that's good that we lost it. I don't know, but I do miss the nostalgia. Anyhow, what was back? We'll pack. Take care. Peace.
I don't wanna see a nigga bluff, nigga kill, nigga up. Nigga, what's up? Nigga, what's good? You and they can't, I still chop in the hood. Cell phone bang all night, so I'ma get to it all night. Then on the weekends, so they try to catch flights. With another bitch, nigga, really, I might. I never spare, nigga, dare, nigga, flap a nigga, rob a nigga, chop a nigga, bump a nigga, tell a nigga, real a nigga, fuck, real a nigga, spill a nigga. I'ma beat a nigga, never feed a nigga, never fear a nigga, never need a nigga, cut a nigga, bust a nigga, can't fuss nigga, what's up, nigga, untouched nigga. Why you say so ugly?